So good morning, all of you again. Uh, Today we would be discuss the unit test questions and answers that we have taken in the last week. Most of you have performed good, but uh, still there is a lot of improvement is required there. Only 36 has been joined the lecture. Please message your friends to attend the lecture. Okay. Now we would be start the discussion. If anyone has any query during the discussion, you can ask immediately the questions. Okay. The first question I have asked related the MOSFET. So we know that okay, we know that the MOSFET is basically a unipolar device. So MOSFET is here. It is nothing but a combination of MOS device plus field effect transistor. So we know that all the FETs are unipolar in nature, means only one kind of the charge carriers would be responsible for the flow of current. And it is also voltage control device that you can easily uh, understood with the help of its uh, output characteristics. If you remember the output characteristics, it is plotted between the ID versus VDS, and where we have kept the VGS as a constant, means it would be depend upon the value of the VGS. So it is a voltage control device, and we know the other transistor, that is BJT, that is current control device. And we know that in the MOSFET we have the three main terminals, basically source, drain, and gate. So the option number 3 here is correct answer. MOSFET is unipolar voltage controlled three terminal device. So those who have marked this, it is correct answer. Now come to the second question. The second question says, in the transfer characteristics of the MOSFET, the threshold voltage is a measure of what? So in this case, if you have to be see, what would be the answer? The threshold voltage is the minimum voltage to induce the channel for conduction. So either you are using a N channel device or P channel device, the purpose of threshold voltage is to induce the channel. Okay, and it is a minimum gate to source voltage. Understood? Now it is very simple, actually straightforward theoretical question. The third one is the output characteristics of MOSFET is a plot of what? Recently I have drawn the output characteristics on the first number question. It is a plot between ID versus VDS. It is a plot between ID versus VDS. So I think all of you are familiar with this. This is your output characteristic. and depend upon the VGS. It is controlling parameter. So the second option here mentioned ID is a function of VDS and with the VGS as a parameter is the correct answer. Okay. Now come to the next one. Fourth number question. As for the fourth number question, it says the output characteristics MOSFET with low value of VDS, the value of the on state resistance is what? So on state resistance means when the MOSFET would be start the conduct. At that moment, what is the resistance across the MOSFET? So obviously, as per the Ohm's law, we know that it is voltage upon current, and at the on state, the active current is the ID, drain current, and the voltage across the MOSFET output terminal is drain to source voltage. So the correct answer would be first option here, VDS versus VDS upon ID. This is the correct answer. Okay. Now, those who would be feel any difficulty in any question regarding concept, you can ask immediately. Now come to the fifth number question. In saturation region of MOSFET, saturation current is what? So it is independent of voltage difference between source and drain. So I have already plotted the output characteristics. So here in the output characteristics, you can see that your ID versus VDS curve. So obviously, the responsible voltage is drain to source voltage. Okay, but if you would be see this characteristic, so this particular region, it is called as a saturation, and up to this point, left hand side is this is called as a non-saturation region. Okay, so we are talking about the saturation. This is a practical characteristic. Ideally, it is a flat line parallel to the VDS. So basically, in the saturation region, your MOSFET would be act as a amplifier, and your drain current or saturation current ID SAT, it would become independent.
VDS. There is no effect of VDS would be used here. There is some problem with my mic. Hello. Now I am audible or not? Please confirm me. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Headphone is not working now. So okay. Now, if you would be see the next question in this particular MCQ, the next question is based on again the MOSFET, and they have asked again so it is already we have taken fourth number. Now sixth number. Which of the following is the fastest switching device? So if you would be see out of these given devices, your MOSFET would be the fastest switching device. That's why it is one of the benefit that of the MOSFET that would be make it consideration for taking as a novel device for the IC manufacturing. Okay, so the size is less, speed is very high. Okay, and because of that, we would be prefer the MOSFET for VLSI or the IC manufacturing. So here the correct answer would be MOSFET. We have already discussed in detail regarding this in the theory lecture. Now come to seventh question, that is nothing but a numerical. So if you would be see this numerical, so what the numerical says that consider this particular amplifier shown in this particular diagram. This is the common source amplifier, because you can see that this if you would be see in this case, this is your gate terminal, this is your drain, and this is your source terminal. Okay, and source is common to input side also as well as the output side. Okay, so this is nothing but a common source amplifier, and for that purpose we have to be define the find out the ID. So if you would be see here, this is the AC voltage source small VGS, and this is a DC voltage source VGS, and small VGS is mentioned here, it is 0. So there is no effect of AC voltage here. Okay, so here only the DC voltage would be in effect. So it is only for confusing to the student that AC voltage source has shown, but it is also mentioned here it is 0. So do not consider the effect of AC current or AC voltage. Now supply voltage is mentioned here. There is a DC voltage source, that is 1.8 volt. RD and ID is mentioned. The ID is a current flowing across the drain to source terminal. So we have to find out this ID. So how we have to find out this ID? There is a one hint is given, lambda. Lambda is what? It is channel length modulation parameter. Okay, and it is 0, means there is no effect of the channel length modulation. So here in this case, the formula for the ID would be what? It is Kn VGS minus VTH whole square, because we are generally considered this is working in the saturation region. So this formula would be applicable here. Just put up in the formula the value of Kn, 2 milliampere per volt square. Then it is VGS is what? It is 0.6 volt, and VTH is what? 0.4 volt. We have to be just take the difference, that is 0.2 whole square into 2. So what it would be the answer is there? It would be, if you have to be see 2 into 0.04. So this would be give the answer to the 0.08 milliampere, because it is a milliampere per volt square and it is volt square. So volt square would be cancel out, only milliampere would be remain. So the unit would be milliampere. Okay, so this is the way that we have to be calculate the current here. So in the 7th number question, the answer is D, 0.08 milliampere. Okay, one thing remember, I have little bit shuffled the options. Okay, for the first 15 questions I have shuffled the options, so maybe everyone would be got a different option as a correct. The value is correct is 0.08 milliampere, but maybe someone has find it in the A option, someone has find it as in the C option, and here it is in the D option. Okay, so this would be the solution for the question number 7. Everyone clear about this numerical? Anyone has any doubt? You can ask me. Can I proceed? Okay. Now come to the 8th number question. So according to the 8th number question, the one of the circuit is shown, and you have to be say that what configuration it is. So we have generally learned about the configuration like common source, common drain, and common gate. These 3 MOSFET configuration we have learned till date. So in this case, what would be the answer is there? If you would be see here, this is your gate terminal, this is your drain terminal, and this is your source terminal. Okay, now you can see we have given the input is given to the gate terminal. Okay, and output is taken from the source terminal, and drain is here common. So obviously it is a common drain configuration. When you have to be give the input to the gate and taking the output from the source, keeping the drain terminal common or grounded, at that moment it is considered as a common drain configuration. Okay, now come to the Next question, that is ninth number question is there. Which of the following is true for the value of AV for common source with bypassed source resistance? First configuration is bypass the source resistance. At that moment, the gain is A1. And second condition, when the common source with the source resistance, it is not bypass, and this is A2. So we have learned the configuration of common source amplifier. So what is the this configuration? If you remember the configuration, this was the configuration as a MOSFET. If you remember this, there is a two resistor. I am using the voltage divider bias actually. So what is going on here? There is a two configuration. This is your RD, VDD. This is your R1, and this is your R2. This is your RS. The source resistance in the say first case, it is bypass, means a bypass capacitor is connected across it. Okay, one bypass capacitor is connected across this MOSFET source terminal or source resistor. Here we have applied the input voltage. Okay, so in this case, when you bypass the CS RS by the CS, so your gain would be increase. Your gain would be increase. Okay, so A1 would be large. A1 having the value large value. And when you have to be remove this bypass capacitor, then what happens? There would be additional drop across RS, IDRS, and it would be drop the output voltage value. If the value of the output voltage will be decreased because of this additional drop, your gain would be also decrease. So in this case, A1 is greater than the A2. We have already learned this topic in the theory also. I hope the concept would be clear. Now, come to the another question, that is a question for the non-ideal characteristics of the MOSFET. The a breakdown effect that occurs in the modern devices at a low voltage of around 20 volt. That is a punch through. We have learned the some breakdowns effects like that, Blanche breakdown, punch through. Okay, so this is the example of the punch through actually. This would be happen with the low voltage, and it is actually happened when the MOSFET would be connected in the IC, where the thousands or lakhs of the MOSFET would be on a single IC. So there would be the density would be very high. MOSFET density is very high. The difference of the distance between the MOSFET is very less, and at very low voltage, this kind of the breakdown effect would be occurred, and that is referred as a punch through. We have learned in detail already in the chapter. Now come to the question number 11th. The threshold voltage is, we know that the temperature effect, that is again the non-ideal characteristics of the MOSFET. As the temperature increases, your threshold voltage decreases, your transconductance parameter is also decreases. We have learned that these two parameters would be decreased with the increase in the temperature. So we have to be see that here what happens, your per 2.5 degree increase in the temperature, your threshold voltage will be decreased. Okay, so here the correct option is decreases. Now come to the another option, and you have know that we have also learned this formula for the threshold voltage, and you know that there is a function of the temperature also, source to body voltage, and this is the Fermi potential. So this would be, we have already seen in very much detail about the threshold voltage. So I hope all of you have marked the correct answer at the time of examination. Then which of the following is true about the common drain amplifier? So common drain is when we have to put up on the input to the gate terminal and taking the output from the source terminal, that is a common drain. And at that moment, you have to know that the common drain amplifier having some properties, like output voltage is same as the input voltage, means voltage gain is either less than 1 or nearly equal to 1. Another property is that its output impedance is very low. Oh, sorry, output impedance is very low. So here the option is asked that low input impedance, high input impedance, infinite gain, it is never infinite gain, and the output impedance is same as the input. It is the correct option because your gain is 1. Now come to the next question, that is a 13 number question. It is again a formula based question actually, and that is also asked from the common drain. Source follower means what? It is a another name of the common drain configuration, and this Z means what? It is the representation of impedance. Okay, it is nothing but the impedance. So what is the formula of Z for source follower common drain? It is RS parallel 1 upon GM. So here RS is mentioned 2 kilo ohm parallel with 1 upon GM means what? 1 upon 0.5 millisiemens means what? It is 2 kilo ohm parallel with 0.5 means what? It would be 2 again 2 kilo ohm. So obviously 2 kilo ohm in the parallel, so answer would be 1 kilo ohm. This is the correct option or answer of the question number 30. Is it okay? Okay, now come to the question number 14. What is the question number 14? Says that which of the following is true for the common source amplifier? So the answer is very much simple. Phase reversal voltage output means what? Phase reversal means what? The output voltage having the phase difference of 180 degree with respect to the input voltage signal. So if you have applied the sinusoidal signal like this to the input terminal, input voltage to the common source amplifier, you would be get the output as 180 degree phase difference. Okay, so when there is a positive peak, it is a negative peak. So 180 degree out of phase, that we have already learned. So here the correct answer would be phase reversal of the voltage output. Okay, now come to the question number 15. This is the last question of the unit number 1. Which of the following is true? So this is asked basically from the frequency response. This is asked basically the frequency response. Okay, so what the frequency response says that, if you remember this particular, the frequency response says that there is a, if you have to remember the frequency response, this kind of graph we have plotted. In the x-axis the log frequency is there, and there is a AB in decibel. Okay, so this is the lower cutoff frequency FL, and this is the upper cutoff frequency FH. Okay, and here we have asked the coupling and bypass capacitor causes the gain to fall at the high frequency. No, it is wrong. The coupling capacitor causes the gain to fall at the high frequency. No. Internal capacitor of the devices causes the gain to fall at the low frequency. Again, no. The correct option is that coupling and bypass capacitors causes the gain to fall at low frequencies. So we know that FL would be depend upon the two kind of the capacitor. One is the coupling capacitor, it is connected at the input and output terminal. Another is the bypass capacitor, that is connected across the RS. Okay, so the correct answer is the coupling and bypass capacitor causes the gain to fall off at low frequency. And upper cutoff frequency would be depend upon what? It will depend upon the internal capacitors, junction capacitors, wiring capacitors. Okay, so this was the 15 number question. Now come to the 16. It is coming now. We are proceed to the second unit questions. So in the N channel MOSFET conducts, if the N channel MOSFET conducts and has a large voltage between the source and drain, then it is said to be what? This is said to be simply linear region saturation, non-saturation, saturation cutoff. Obviously, when there is a large voltage difference between the source and drain terminal, it is what? It is a working in the saturation region. We have already seen the output characteristics. In the saturation region, there is a large voltage difference between the drain and source. Okay. Linear and non-saturation is same region actually. These are two different names that are given. And cutoff is when the transistor is off, so it is not possible. So correct option is saturation. Now come to the 17 number question. What the question says that in the 17 number question it is asking CMOS inverter transistor is a switching having infinite on resistance, infinite off resistance. So infinite on resistance it is not possible because when the transistor would be on, the resistance would be start to decrease, and when the resistor would be start to decrease, your current would be start to flow into the transistor. So this is not possible. Finite out resistance, it is also, if it is ideal device, it is not possible. Buffer, no, it is inverter, so it is never could be a buffer. So infinite off resistance is the correct. Means when the N channel and P channel MOSFET is off state, there is no possibility of flow of current because of the offered infinite resistance. This resistance would be not allow the passage of current. Okay. The correct answer is here infinite of resistance. Now come to the 18 number question. The CMOS has output impedance. CMOS has low output impedance, that we have already learned in the theory as well. CMOS has low output impedance and high input impedance because CMOS is made up from the MOSFET, and MOSFET has a basic property that it is having the very high value of input impedance or maybe infinite input impedance ideally, and output ideally zero output impedance or very low output impedance practically. So same is valid for the CMOS inverter also. Then and then only we would be able to drive the loads connected to the CMOS inverter. Now come to the 19 number question. A feedback amplifier is also called a closed loop amplifier. Simple. It is a very simple straightforward question. It is not need to discuss. If you have anyone has any doubt, you can refer the block diagram of the negative feedback amplifier that we have discussed in the chapter. Feedback means what? We are giving the some amount of output back to the input side, and when we are doing this, we have to be required to connect the feedback network between the output and input. And when you have to be connect the feedback network between the output and the input, then what happens? It would be form a closed loop. Okay. Till anyone has any doubt or any query, you can ask. Now come to the next question, that is based on the negative feedback. So they have we have asked voltage series. In voltage series feedback amplifier, we have to be identified through the diagram. So it is very simple. The first option is the correct option. Voltage series is, voltage means what? It is a type of sampling and it is a type of mixing. So type of sampling would be always observed at the output terminal. So here you can see that we have connected the feedback network parallel to the output, means we are taking the output voltage as a feedback signal. Okay. And through the feedback network, it is again mixed to the input of the op-amp or the any amplifier circuit. So it is what happens, you can see it is mixed in the series manner. That's why it is a voltage series amplifier. It is very simple. We have already learned these diagrams in the theory as well. It is a very straightforward question. If the feedback voltage and output voltage are given as 10 volt and 4 volt respectively. Okay, what is the value of the feedback voltage is given? It is given as Vf. Vf is what? Vf is 10 volt and V naught is what? It is 4 volt. So you have to find out the gain of feedback circuit, not AVF. It is gain of feedback circuit. So gain of feedback circuit is nothing but beta. It is basically VF upon V naught, because we know that VF is beta V naught. So it is 10 upon 4, simple. So the correct option would be 2.5 volt. Okay. Now come to the next question, that is 22. What is Bark-Hussein criteria for oscillation? So it is very simple. We have learned the three conditions: beta A is less than 1, greater than 1 and equal to 1. And when A beta is equal to 1, that is the sustained oscillation condition. Your signal would be keep oscillating with the same amplitude and same frequency. And so this is also there is a two statement of the Bark-Hussein criteria. So one of the statement is your loop gain should be equal to 1. The magnitude of the loop gain should be equal to 1, and loop gain means A into beta. So the correct option is this. Okay. Now come to the next question. What happens when mod of A beta is less than 1? So I have discussed. This is the condition. Then there is a D condition. First, A beta is equal to 1 means sustained oscillation. Second is mod of A beta is less than 1. So at that moment what happens? Your signal would be die down. Means if suppose at the initial state your amplitude is large, it would be slowly decreases and decreases, and at that moment, one moment, it would be completely die down, completely vanished. So this is the condition when mod of A beta is less than 1. So it is first option is correct. Okay. Now come to the next question. 24 number question is there. The question is asked, what will be the phase shift of feedback circuit in the RC phase shift oscillator? So we have remember that in the RC phase shift oscillator I have started the discussion with discussing the RC network, a single RC network, where we have then after that we have defined the three RC networks. Okay, so if you remember this, so it is very simply we have defined here RC networks are there. If I have remember, instead of drawing I would be show you the diagram. This is the RC network, and this is the question have been asked. What amount of phase shift? We know that we have to connect the three RC networks, and each RC network would be offered the 60-degree phase shift. Okay, and when it would be offered the 60-degree phase shift, the total phase shift offered by this feedback network would be 180 degree. Okay, so that is asked in your question. Okay, so phase shift offered by the RC network in the phase shift oscillator is 180 degree. Now come to the 25 number question. What is the frequency of oscillation for the Wien bridge oscillator? It is very simple. F naught should be equal to 1 upon 2 pi RC. That we have already learned in the second unit in detail. So you have to just remember the formula based question. There is nothing analytical you have to be apply knowledge. It is a formula based question. In negative feedback, series mixing tends to increase the input resistance tends to so in the negative feedback amplifier you have to find out the in series mixing what happens, input resistance increases or decreases. Generally we know that in all types of series mixing, either it is a voltage series or current series, your input resistance would be increases because it would be connected in series with the input network, so resistance would be added and it would be increased. Okay, so the first option is correct. In shunt mixing, it would be decreases. Now come to the 27th number question. That is, MOS device can be used as a resistor in. So it is a very simple question from the characteristics of the MOSFET. So in which region it would be act as a resistor? Non-saturation region, that is also called as linear region. Okay. In saturation region it would be act as an amplifier. So the correct option is linear region. Now come to the 28 number question. A current sink is two terminal component whose current at any instant of time is independent of what? Across their terminals. The correct option is voltage. This is the first statement we have seen in the chapter. The first statement I have given for the current sink is this is independent of the voltage across the terminal. If you remember the slide or the current sink or source are the two terminal component whose current at any instant of time is independent of the voltage across its terminal. Okay, so that we have already seen. It is straightforward definition wise question is there. Now, which among of the following is considered as an active resistor? So we know that we can make the MOSFET that would be act as a resistor and it is called as an active resistor. So for that purpose we would be use the MOSFET as a diode. So when you have to be connect the gate terminal to the drain terminal, short the gate terminal to a drain terminal, it would become a MOS diode and it would be acting as a active resistor. So we have already learned this. Now come to the last question, that is a current mirror can be used as an active load because it has lower resistance. No. It has high AC resistance. Yes, it is having the high AC resistance. That's why it would be act as an active load. Okay. So you can justify this answer with the help of the output characteristics of the current mirror circuit that we have already learned in the second unit, where the current mirror circuit we have seen that this is the current mirror circuit, and for that purpose we have defined the output characteristics also. So from here we can justify that our answer that high AC it has having the high AC resistance. That's why it is acting as an active load. Okay. So this is all about the everyone. I would be request to give the attendance. I forget to ask you about the attendance. Okay. So it is very simple now to answer the questions. I have discussed all. If anyone has any issue or any problem, you can ask your queries. Anyone has any query or anyone has any doubt, you can ready with your questions in the next lecture tomorrow. Tomorrow we would be learn the LDO, low dropout voltage. We have learning the voltage regulators, unit number 3. So LDO we would be learn in the tomorrow's lecture. And improve your attendance in this particular subject. Whatever I have observed from the attendance sheet, your attendance is very low. Okay, thank you. Thank you all of you for attending the lecture today.